Hello everyone and welcome to another YouTube video. I am Hype the Commentator and thank you all for joining me today as we continue the road to WrestleMania. It is WrestleMania week and we are just a few days away from the greatest WrestleMania of all time. But before we can get to Philadelphia, the city of brotherly love, for WrestleMania 40, we are going back to WrestleMania 24 when the Heartbreak Kid took on Ric Flair, with Ric Flair putting his career on the line against Mr. WrestleMania. All right, let's not waste any more time. Let's get right into it. All right, here we go. The Heartbreak Kid, Mr. WrestleMania, Shawn Michaels, and one of the greatest to ever do it, the Nature Boy, Ric Flair. Ric Flair, a 16-time world champion. Still got some tricks in the bag. That is vintage Flair. The bell has rung. This match is underway. They're going to lock up collar and elbow, set in the ring. Shawn Michaels side headlock, gets pushed in the ropes, comes back with a shoulder tackle to Flair. Michaels early offensive advantage over Flair, catching Flair off guard. Flair, the dirtiest player in the game. Ric Flair. Has the hammerlock on Michaels, going after that shoulder of the Heartbreak Kid. Shawn Michaels trying to break free, turns things around now. Michaels with a hammerlock to Flair. Now a hammerlock from Flair. Great reversal. Great drop toe hold from the Nature Boy. Oh, now Michaels turning Flair around with that hammerlock again, driving Flair into the mat. And now both men back up to their feet. Flair reversing. We're here at WrestleMania 24, Orlando, Florida. And now Michaels went for a shoulder tackle, but a great hip toss from Ric Flair. He's still got it. And what could be his very last match, giving everything he's got. He's going to go out in style, or he's going to continue his historic career. There's one thing that we know about the Nature Boy, Ric Flair, as he will not go down without a fight. And the same thing goes for the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels, as they lock up collar and elbow in the center of the ring once more. Michaels driving Flair into the corner. Referee Charles Robinson trying to break. Oh, but now Flair with a reversal. Now Flair driving Michaels in the corner. Referee calling for that rope break. Michaels calling Ric Flair Old Yeller, and then you could hear Ric Flair yelling that at Shawn Michaels. You're saying, huh? I'm Old Yeller? And then Michaels with a slap to Flair. Mind games. Ric Flair's lips might be busted by Michaels, it seems. And you can hear Flair said, "First blood, brother," and now going to the knee, midsection of Michaels. Boom, what a chop to the Heartbreak Kid. And a thunderous chop to Michaels. These two already going at it heavy early on in this contest. This is a huge match. One of the grandest days of them all. The Showcase of Immortals, where the two of the biggest stars in WWE and sports entertainment collide. Boom, what a boot right to the bridge of the nose of Shawn Michaels. And now sends Michaels in the ropes. But Michaels gets caught with that back elbow. And now Ric Flair, boom, what a knee to the forehead of the Heartbreak Kid. And now Michaels sent in the corner by Flair, but Michaels comes back with a back elbow to Flair. And now Michaels creates some separation for the time being, turning things around. And now Shawn Michaels heads up to the top. Ric Flair doesn't even really know where he is, but here comes Flair, sending Michaels up over the top. Look at this. Boom! Michaels crashes and burns right into the mat by Ric Flair. Ric Flair taking an early chance. Oh, now look at this. Ric Flair heading up to the top. We don't see this from Flair too often anymore. Oh, Ric Flair with a right to Michaels. Michaels is trying to repay the favor, but here comes a high cross body from the Nature Boy. 1, 2. Look at him put Michaels away early. What a historic match so far. Ric Flair with a high cross body. Never expected to see that one. And now going after the knee of Michaels. This is where Ric Flair becomes so dangerous, when he starts to break down his opponent's knee so that That figure four lock of his becomes even more dangerous. Baseball slide from Michaels takes out Flair on the floor. And now Michaels has Flair right where he wants him. Springboard, moonsault. Oh! Michaels midsection first onto the table. Onto the edge of the table. Ric Flair getting out of harm's way just in the nick of time. Oh, absolutely devastating. You can see the pain in the eyes, the anguish in the face of Shawn Michaels. Look at this. Shawn Michaels. Look at the way Michaels collided through the table. The way it broke. Absolutely devastating. The midsection. Could have cracked some ribs on that one. Oh, this is the way he landed. Absolutely devastating for Shawn Michaels. Ric Flair's back in the ring. If there's one thing we know about the dirtiest player in the game, he'll win by any means necessary. And even if it's by countout, as Michaels tries to pull himself up. But Michaels could get counted out. Ric Flair could continue his historic career. Out of the count of 8, Michaels pulls himself in just before the 9. Boom, what a boot to Michaels. Ric Flair giving Michaels everything he's got. Let's take a look at this moonsault one more time in slow motion. This was brutal. We got to see this. Flair moved out of the way. And then Michaels just devastating. Oh, Michaels' spine connecting with the turnbuckles. And Michaels just falling into the mat after that. And damage has been done to Michaels. And now Shawn Michaels gets caught by Flair with a backdrop suplex. Great suplex from Flair. Hooks Michaels up for the cover. 1, 2. Only enough for a 2, but the legs were hooked. Ric Flair wanted to try and secure the victory and have even higher chance by hooking the leg, but it was only enough for a 2 count. And Flair in control of this match. Wanting to make sure this isn't the final time he gets to do what he is very best at, what he isn't it when he's in his element. And a butterfly suplex from Flair goes for the cover. Once again, hooks the leg. 1, 2. Michaels kicks out at 2. And a near fall for the Nature Boy. Flair is certainly fighting with everything he's got. He's still got some left in the tank. Michaels' body has been broken already. Just off that moonsault alone, right, crashing and burning onto our announce desk was enough to really cause some damage to Michaels. These two trading chops in the center of the ring. But here, look at Flair. Now connects on Michaels, looking for a standing vertical suplex as the blood rushes to the head of Mr. WrestleMania. Great vertical suplex from Flair. Perfectly executed by the Nature Boy. Goes for the cover. 1, 2. But this time, Flair doesn't hook the leg, and that might have cost him right there. I can see the blood on his lip. 1, 2, and he goes for another cover. But this is smart by Flair because each time he goes for the cover onto Shawn Michaels exhausts energy trying to kick out. Well, having to kick out, rather. And a right to Flair. Flair with a right back now, a chop to Flair. Here we go. Michaels starting to pick up some momentum here with these thunderous chops, but Flair to the boot, to the midsection of Shawn Michaels. Shawn Michaels on the ropes. Swinging neck breaker from the Heartbreak Kid. Shawn Michaels going for the cover. Oh, I thought Michaels was going for the cover. But Michaels is disoriented, it seems. Michaels has been on the receiving end of quite the beating from Flair throughout this match. And now Michaels sends Flair over the top to the outside. Oh my! Look at the way Ric Flair crashed and burned into the mat. Michaels showing no remorse for the Nature Boy. He wants to end the career of Flair. And he's going to do it in style. Just the way Ric Flair lived his entire life so far. The way he lived throughout his entire career with a moonsault to the outside. Lands on Flair, but it didn't look like he got all of it. It made his mark, but it didn't get all of it. But what cost, though? Michaels connected with it, but the damage was still done to Michaels in the process. The ref is halfway there on the count. Let's take a look at this moonsault. Yeah, he didn't get all of that one, but he got enough to take down Flair. It seems Flair's about to make it in the ring first. And now they're both up. 9. At the count of 9. And now they both make it back in before the 10 count. But who's going to take control? Flair seems to, going for the midsection of Michaels. Ric Flair looking for that figure 4. Michaels looking for that sweet chin music. That's their 2 biggest moves. Who's going to hit the other with their move to guarantee the victory? Boom, what a thunderous chop to Flair. And now Flair with his patented chops to Michaels. The chops that Ric Flair made so famous. And these two are giving it everything they've got. What a right to Flair. Michaels is down. Who's going to get back up to their feet first? Can Michaels capitalize on this bit of offense? And here we go. The Heartbreak Kid kips up to his feet, but you can see him holding onto that injured midsection from earlier. Inverted atomic drop to Flair. What a right. Knocks Flair right to the mat. Flair back up to his feet. Michaels, another inverted atomic drop. And another right to Flair. And Flair gets back up to his feet. Boom, what a scoop slam by the Heartbreak Kid. Michaels could have broken ribs right now, but he's pushing through everything because he wants to end the career of Ric Flair, and he's going to do it. If he can hit this huge elbow drop, it could be over for Flair. We know it comes up after this elbow drop. It's that sweet chin music, the showstopper with an elbow right to the heart of the legendary Nature Boy Ric Flair. And Michaels could be one sweet chin music away from ending the career of Ric Flair. It could be just a matter of moments as Michaels holds onto those ribs, those bruised ribs, perhaps cracked ribs. We don't know. Michaels is sure going to find out when he sees the doctors after this match. Michaels tuning up the band as he is ready to end the career, the legendary career of WWE Hall of Famer, the legendary Ric Flair. Ric Flair trying to pull himself up. Here we go. Sweet chin music. But he couldn't. He just couldn't. Ric Flair. Michaels had hesitated. Michaels couldn't pull the trigger on ending the career. He's got a heart. Surprisingly, the Heartbreak Kid may have a heart. He couldn't break the heart of Flair and the family of Ric Flair who's watching here at ringside. But Ric Flair, with a last gasp, with that figure 4, taking advantage of Michaels' good grace. And Michaels is writhing in pain. The knee experiencing a lot of pain from that figure 4. Michaels could be done for in this match. Ric Flair looking to keep his career alive. But Michaels trying to turn it around. And Shawn Michaels turns things around. And now the Nature Boy experiencing pain of his own. And now breaks the hold. Flair got to the ropes after Michaels reversing that figure 4. But now the damage has been done to both men. Boom, what a chop to Flair. What a chop to Michaels. Side headlock takeover from Flair. A great head scissor from Michaels. And now Flair, look at this. 1, 2. Oh, they tried. 1, 2. Oh, Michaels gets the shoulder up. Not enough strength left to bridge out. But Flair looking to go after the knee once again. But Michaels rolls through. Great move from Michaels looking for that sunset flip. But Flair's not going down just yet. Michaels now turns Flair over. 1, 2. Oh, but Flair kicks out at 2. Only a 2 count for Shawn Michaels on that sunset flip. Flair was going after that knee. Michaels turned himself over. What a thunderous chop from the Heartbreak Kid. But now Michaels going for another one. Boom. What another chop. And now sending Flair across the ring. But Flair with a reversal. Oh, Michaels' spine first connects. And now the spine. Oh, a chop block to the back of the knee of Shawn Michaels from Ric Flair, the dirtiest player in the game. Reigns supreme throughout this match. We can see he's still got some tricks up his sleeve. Let's take a look at this. Boom, brutal chop block to the back of the knee. Look at the way that Michaels' knee caved in. Absolutely brutal. And now Ric Flair looking for one more. Big move. One of the greatest of all time, perhaps. Michaels rolls through. Ric Flair was looking for the figure 4, too. That roll up inside cradle from Michaels. Boot for the midsection. Nope, but Ric Flair catches. Went for an enziguri. Ric Flair scouted it. And now here we go. Once again, the figure 4. This could keep his career alive if Michaels taps out. Will Michaels survive? In the center of the ring, Michaels is in no man's land with nowhere to go. Michaels may have only one choice but to tap out, but it seems he's about to get pinned. Michaels sits back up. Michaels screaming, writhing in pain, trying to do everything he can to make it to the bottom rope. Will he be able to do it? He is inching closer and closer, but Ric Flair pulling Michaels back into the center of the ring. And now they're back in the center of the ring. This one could be over in just a matter of moments for Shawn Michaels. Both these men giving it everything they've got, but Ric Flair with one more effort. Oh, but Flair turns it back over again. Michaels reversed it. And Ric Flair overthrowing that counter from the Heartbreak Kid. Now Michaels grabs the bottom rope and forces the rope break. Michaels able to make it the bottom ropes. And the fans not too pleased. The fans thought that one was going to be it for Shawn Michaels. They thought that Ric Flair had one left in him with that figure four. But now Flair stomping away on the down Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels, who's trying to pull himself up using that top rope. But Flair boot to the back of the knee of the Heartbreak Kid. And you hear Michaels writhing in pain as referee Charles Robinson trying to keep Ric Flair separated. Meanwhile, Michaels having some time to pull himself up, trying to recover. Boom! And it connects! The sweet chin music connects. Picture perfect right on the jaw. This one could be it this time. Shawn Michaels showing no remorse for Flair with that sweet chin music. But he didn't tune up the band. 1, 2. Oh my, you gotta be kidding me! Flair somehow, some way kicking out of that sweet chin music. Ric Flair found a way to kick out. Look at that picture perfect, beautiful, sweet chin music. Michaels with a picture perfect sweet chin music, but it wasn't enough to keep down Ric Flair. But the damage has been done to the knee of Michaels throughout this match by Flair. And now Michaels, it seems Michaels could be moments away from ending the career as he looks to tune up the band, this time for more official sweet chin music from Mr. WrestleMania. And now, tuning up the band could be a matter of moments before the historic career of Ric Flair is over. But Michaels telling Ric Flair to get up, but Ric Flair is having a hard time getting up. Michaels having a hard time getting himself over to Flair. Michaels trying to just fight through the pain so he can connect with one more sweet chin music to take out Flair once and for all. As Michaels pushes through the pain to tune up the band once again. Michaels saying it's all over. Michaels said he's going to take Flair behind the barn just like a horse and take him out of his misery. Just like an old horse. Oh, dirtiest player with one last desperation move with a low blow, pulling the referee close so he couldn't see the leg go right between the thighs of the Heartbreak Kid. 1, 2. Oh, but Shawn Michaels is still in this. Shawn Michaels a second away from losing to Ric Flair, but Ric Flair still giving it everything he's got, pulling out all the stops. He will stop at nothing to walk away and continue his illustrious career. Shawn Michaels turns things around. Michaels now looking for, oh, look at this. A figure four from Michaels now to Flair. An inverted version of the figure four. Look at this from Michaels. It seems to be an interesting way to go for the figure four. Ric Flair trying to pull himself. Now going after the leg of Flair. Michaels giving it everything he's got as Ric Flair tries to pull himself to that bottom rope. Is Flair going to be able to do it? Flair writhing in pain. And Flair tries to make it, and Flair makes it to the bottom rope. And forcing that rope break. Pulls off that bottom turnbuckle. Wow, what a thumb to the eye of Michaels. Once again, we're seeing some dirty moves. Wouldn't be Ric Flair if we didn't see a cheap shot or two from the Nature Boy. Using that, pulling off the bottom turnbuckle pad to his advantage. And now, looking for a rollover. Looking for a roll-up. 1, 2. Has the tights. The ref didn't see that. Flair had the tights. But it was almost a 3. Not quite yet. Not quite enough to keep the Heartbreak Kid down. The Nature Boy thought he had it. But Ric Flair and Shawn Michaels both still in this, both on their knees, trading chops as they go back and forth as they work their way back up to their feet. Who wants it more? Ric Flair, the stakes have never been higher in the career of Ric Flair. After every world title he's won, this may be the, oh, but another sweet chin music, bang, right on the jaw. A big right. Instead, it was a big sweet chin music from the Heartbreak Kid. And now this time, Shawn Michaels realizes this is what he needs. That's exactly what he needed to take down Flair. But Flair is not done. Michaels pulling himself back up to his feet. This time, he thinks he sees that it's over. Tuning up the band. Michaels with a little bit of hesitation. Michaels, you can see the look in his eyes. He just can't get himself to do it. Ric Flair. Michaels has so much respect for Ric Flair. Everything they've said to each other, there's so much respect. He said, I'm sorry, I love you. Boom! What a super kick. What a sweet chin music. 1, 2, 3. And it's over. Michaels has done it. But the career of Ric Flair is over. What a way for Ric Flair to go out here on the grandest stage of them all. After everything these two gave each other throughout this match. In the end, that third sweet chin music from Shawn Michaels. He said, I'm sorry, I love you. Michaels realized what he had to do to win this one and has now ended the career of the legendary, the Nature Boy, Ric Flair. All right, everyone. And that was the career-threatening match where Ric Flair put his career on the line against the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels, at WrestleMania 24. In the end, it would be, I'm sorry, I love you, from Shawn Michaels. And then one last sweet chin music to Ric Flair to end the historic, illustrious, legendary career of the Nature Boy, Ric Flair. And with that being said, thank you all for tuning in to today's video. Don't forget, follow me on all my socials at Hype the Commentator on Twitch, TikTok, Instagram, right here on YouTube, Hype Commentator on X. And I will be streaming this Friday on Twitch at twitch.tv/Hype the Commentator for the final SmackDown before WrestleMania. And then I will be live on Twitch for WrestleMania 40, April 6th and 7th at 7 p.m. Eastern. And for SmackDown, it will be 8 p.m. Eastern. Thank you all for joining me for today's video, and I will see you all in the next one.